You know, when I first started running, it was a funny thing because I was never scared, never fearful. Like, that's how I lived my running life from the very beginning. Like, I started running and I went for it, and then I started running with faster people and I went for it, and I would hang on. I would hang on until I couldn't hang on anymore. And like, that's how I tell my story about running with the Legion Park. When I first started, I didn't know the end of any of the routes. Like, I dropped every day and I would make my way to the park. Until one day doing a Sunday loop, like, I remember getting to 54 and running up that hill and thinking, I'm sticking with these people, and running with the front pack. You know, and then I never feared going for it in any race. I never feared a half marathon. Like, I'm gonna go for it. I never feared a marathon. I always went for it, every time. I never played it safe, ever. I never thought about a race and thought I couldn't do that. When I thought about ultras when I first started, I didn't think like, well, I'm gonna ease my way into it, man. I wanted to go to the biggest and the baddest. I wanted to go longer. And then in the last 4 years, it's like, I just feel like I'm just constantly losing that. Losing that will to just go for it. Losing that will, fear, man. Just straight effing fear pulls me in. And yeah, like this injury, like, but still the fear of that injury, like, the fear of that injury, man, it makes me insane. It makes me wish I was injured so I didn't have to deal with it anymore. It makes me say, oh, forget this. Every time I drive by a store, I want to stop and get 9 cartons of vegan ice cream and eat it in my car like an addict. I never had any of those fears. I never had any of that once. All it was like, how am I going to get fit enough to do this cool shit? I didn't fear not being able to swim and do an Ironman. I didn't fear, well, a little bit I feared that, but I didn't fear the distance. I'm like, didn't fear any of that. When I talk to people, that's the biggest one. Like, the fear of it. When I coach people, that's the biggest one. The fear of all this stuff. It's gotta stop. It's gotta stop right now. Alright, so I was a little emotional in there. Not emotional, just like kind of fired up. But, it's a better light here. But, I did run 4 miles. So 4 miles on the treadmill, didn't really have work. I got up in the morning, did my proper physical therapy type movements, and it felt better. And I did feel it in that area that's bothering me, but it didn't really affect me on the run. It doesn't affect me now, so it definitely loosens up. So positive.